everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Breakfast with Jeff. Sorry, today's episode we're going to talk about a few things, nothing major, mostly just an update video. Topics I want to talk today about basic things that kind of anger me. I mean, if I do kind of curse, I apologize to my more sensitive viewers because there's things out there in this world that I just don't understand, and I'll get into them. Some people might not agree with them, which is fine. I'll explain the whole concept of everything as well in the video so you can understand. You know, we live in the world. I'll screw it up. We live in a world in the year 2012, not 1986, not 1975. You know, we live in 2010. And there's some things I just do not understand.
We live in 2010?
2010. 2012, sorry, I am all messed up. But the point of the matter is I look at this stuff and I am scratching my head why. I mean, think about it. If you think about it, let's start off with the restaurants. I mean, in the year 2012, you still got to go to a waitress and ask for food. You couldn't just push a button and there's your food. Seriously? And why do you need 50 people? Why do you need to have 50 people running around doing stuff in the year of progression? I mean, people still actually have to go to grocery stores and go to places to pick up stuff in the year of something called computers, where you just type a button and they come and they deliver it to you. Why make people make things harder than it is? If the world's so worried about money and so worried about things, maybe they should start changing things. You know, having grocery stores now allowing people to purchase stuff online instead of just running to a grocery store. You know, cars that run off of electricity or energy instead of gas. Imagine what that would be like. You know, I mean, it's just the progression of things is just absolutely ridiculous. Now, another part I'm going to talk about is, you know, something very sensitive. Some people may not agree with it, but I'm going to tell you the story anyways. Me and of course my producer Sam, me and my girlfriend go to this, to the laundromat. We have to do some laundry, which basically, you know, most people do. But naturally, you go inside and there's this big hotshot guy with his hair greased back, and he's, you know, putting up his little underwear and his panties and his all this stuff. I'm not trying to say anything bad about people that do that stuff, that wear women's clothes or everything. I'm just saying what the point I'm making here is that he's flapping his gums talking about Romney, talking about Ryan, talking about this. And the thing that I scratch my head is, why is this guy talking about this? I mean, you can see this is, I mean, I think I'm a little confused on this whole, you know, going and voting thing. I don't understand it. I mean, I'm not going to vote. And the reason why I still say I'm not going to vote is because I feel it doesn't make a difference to me. I mean, this world's going to be fucked up no matter, it's going to be screwed up no matter who you put into the office. The big shot, the pussy people, the people with their fingers on their nose, and people that drive the 2016 cars and have the big huge houses, they're going to say, oh yeah, you know, we should have had this guy because, you know, we should have Romney because he's this and that. And then the gutter rats, the people that don't have very much, they're going from hand to mouth. You know, oh, you know, we should have had Obama because he's doing everything right and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like two people fighting over a piece of candy. You just keep going back and forth, back and forth. And you know, I cannot understand the concept of that. If I go and I vote for Romney, it would be Obama. If I vote for Obama, it would be Romney. So what's the point of making me run in there and spend all that time doing whatever? It doesn't make no sense. You know, you hear these two talk, and you got people making faces for 2 hours. You got him. You've got this guy Romney who doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. You don't even know what he's going to do. He has no idea what he's going to do. He's in over his head. And if all these people actually that vote for him, I don't think they even know. I think they've been smelling lead paint or something, because they surely don't know what they're thinking. You know, you would hire it's like saying you'd hire this guy to babysit, to take care of your kid, but he doesn't even know how to change diapers. You don't even know how to feed a kid. but you're going to trust him with your kid? You know, if you can't trust him, like that, what makes you think you can trust him to run this world? And seriously, presidents? Seriously, in the year 2012, we still got some idiot sitting in a White House, shaking hands and kissing babies? That's what you got? Explain this to me, people. I thought way back when we had a thing called We the People, things about freedom and equality. And anybody that goes and votes, they're not thinking about equality, and they're surely not thinking about freedom, and surely ain't thinking about we the people. They're thinking about nothing but whatever bit fills their satisfaction. You know, the people that are voting for Romney, they don't want us to pay taxes. They don't want to deal with that drama. That's the only reason why they're even going to waste their time. And all the people that are voting for Obama, they want to get ahead in this world. They want to at least be able to get by the next month or the next month. It has nothing to do with, oh, you're a good guy. Personally, I don't like either one of the people. So it doesn't matter to me who you put into that White House. Because they're going to have ideas of what they're going to do. And you can sit there and listen to their talking bull stories for 20 years. It ain't going to matter. The only thing I'm trying to say, people, is that, you know, I go and I sit here and watch these prissy people driving in their big fancy trucks, and they're flaunting their big boats sitting out front, and they're waxing up their cars. And here's the other. And then you go down, and there's other people. They're driving big old clunkers. Their tires are falling off, and all of a sudden they get smoke shooting out the back of their back in their under their hood, and they're trying to hope that they can get to the store to go get a gallon of milk, while this pussy bastard's out driving a 2013 car, and he's worried about his car going out of date, so he can't get another one. And I know how that is. My uncle does the same exact thing. He'll get a car, drive it for a few months, and he'll trade it in. You know, and I just don't get it. You know, and the progression of everything, you know, it's crazy. So, I mean, I'm just don't understand the whole concept of everything. And maybe I'm cliche or anything, but I really just don't get it. Seriously. So another thing I learned, that is, which this is called random selection or random 4. You know, one other thing that kind of gets me is, you know, everybody tells me kill them with kindness. And some people don't understand some things. You know, I've got the issues where I don't like to deal, you know, when people really upset, get me angry, I get angry and I get mad. And I think the reason why I rant and I rave so much is because I feel that people, you know, you go inside, you expect people to be professional, and then when they turn around and act non-professional, you think you should just do it. I'll tell you a dumb story, and this is a dumb story. I don't even know why I say it, but just it's an interesting thing to think on. Good to have your opinions on this. You go into a store. Okay, you're going to buy yourself a couple things, and you're going to leave. Now, the stuff that you're buying is not expensive, so it's not a big deal. It's just, the thing is, the case of the matter is you expect a company to be on top of things, know how to do stuff. So I walk into the store, and I'm going to buy a couple things. I go in and grab a pop, I shake the hand up, and I say a 20-ounce pop, refill. Lady says, okay. Raise her hands, not a problem. So you go and you get your drink. You walk up, they put it down, they say 83 cents. Now, that's not a problem. 83 cents is 83 cents. It's not the big issue. But here's the deal. You sit here and say, no, it's 53 cents. But then this girl says, no, it's 83 cents. Now, you're not going to make a big deal out of this. Who gives a shit? 83 cents, 53. But here's the thing that kind of made this real messed up. She was trying to sell a 32-ounce drink when you only got 20 ounces. And the proper pricing of it was 53 cents. A 20-ounce drink was 53 cents. Now, what made her upset is she thinks that we're saying, oh yeah, you're such an idiot, you're dumb, you don't know what you're doing. I think you need to go back to school and learn some things. And she just keeps on thinking that it's okay, you know. She thinks she's been working there for 3-4 years, so that makes her a computer genius. She's married to Bill Gates, so she knows exactly how a computer works. The poor people before her know know how much I'm supposed to pay, and all of a sudden she doesn't. And all I said, I was thinking to find it frustrating. All I was saying is that maybe you should go and have a meeting with these people and see who's doing what, because I really don't understand you. You're going to sit here and tell me I got to pay, a certain amount of money, and I don't care. I mean, 83 cents, what's 83 cents? But they're trying to get me to pay 83 cents for a 32-ounce drink, and I only got 20 ounces. I don't care if it's the cheapest you gave me. The bottom line of the matter is, I'm supposed to see. Technically, I could take 53 cents, throw it on the counter, and walk out the door, and I shouldn't get in trouble because that's how much it is. And you could go in the next day, and then it'll be 53 cents. The next day it'll be 53 cents. You just get this one person who says it's going to be 83. And why? Because you can't figure out the system. Well, that's not my problem. I guess the whole point of the whole conversation was, to put it in a nutshell, is the woman was having a big old attack because I insulted her attention. I insulted her intelligence by saying she was dumb and she don't understand anything. But then I figured that she was getting on my nerves and she was thinking that she knows everything and she's married to Bill Gates and everything. I said this. I said, I really think, ma'am, you need to go to anger management classes. And oh boy, I tell you, she flipped out and had a big old spaz attack. Oh my God. I went out and I said something horrible to her. I think she really needs some help. It ain't my fault. I know how much my price is. That's how much it's going to be. If you don't even have a problem with that, you need to figure that one out. That's as far as that goes. But yeah, but that's the story and a half. I think the bottom line is, and this is what makes the whole story interesting, is okay, she's all frustrated, she's offended, so she tells me to get out of the place, get out of here. And now, okay, fine, you're upset, you show you're upset, you kick me out, you tell me to leave. But then she turns around and says, take your pop with you, I'll pay for it. So it's like she goes out and she buys you the drink, even after she's mad, and kicks you out of the store. So it's not. So you got to ask the question, I'll get into that point in a minute. I got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is going to be called Breakfast with Jeff, Update 4. So we'll be back in just a minute. We'll take a break. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Breakfast with Jeff, Update 4. And believe it, we'll call it Update 7. Sorry. I'm not too familiar with the numbers, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. I'm just talking about random stuff that gets on my mind, and stuff that I believe in, all kinds of stuff. Just talking about a story. Talking about some woman who went out and purchased me a Mountain Dew and got all mad at me, kicked me out of the store, yelled at me. I think the message that I got from all this is that, it may have been, may have been a little bit wrong. Maybe you shouldn't be like that, but if you think about it, you go in, you say what you feel, and you walk out, and you find out that in a way, you've been awarded. Usually you're supposed to, when you kick somebody out, you don't give them something for it. The point of the matter is this, is you only can put up with so much. You only can put up with so much. I think that, a lot of people go out and when you comes to businesses, you figure they should be professional. Pretty hard, and I figure it this way. It's pretty hard to be upset at a business if they do everything that you could possibly want them to do. If they go out and work the extra mile to try making you feel comfortable, then it's pretty hard for you to be upset and frustrated. But when you have a company that thinks that, well, their crap don't stink and you should do it this way and this is how you're going to do it, now all of a sudden it's not professional, and then you get upset and you're angry and you think you're doing it to be mean and you're doing it to disrupt the company. You're doing it because you don't put up with people's garbage. Period. You don't need to deserve to have to listen to this crap. Everybody has some big idea where they think they're big and mighty and they're better than you, and you know damn well they ain't. Because if they're better, nobody in the world is better than anybody else. You're an individual. You live your life the way you want to. People either support you in it or people turn around and walk away, and that's their decision. It doesn't mean you need to lay on your back and take it and let everybody tell you how to live your life, because it just doesn't work that way. there's two types of people. People will sit and say, well, I'll do this and I'll do that. Oh, I'll turn the other cheek. I won't mind about it. And there's people say, well, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to go and do what I need to do. If people like it, whatever, that's great. If they don't, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to live my life letting people stomp on me and tell me how to live. It ain't going to happen. You know, if people don't like the way I talk to them, if people don't like what I talk about, then guess what? That's their own problem. You know? And I will say one thing today. I'll say one thing about the story. I was upset. I was pretty upset about this whole stupid incident. But I noticed that when I walked down the, it's like a person, if you see somebody, having chest pains or falling down or sick. But I was upset, and I was pretty upset because these people were acting like idiots. There was a person who asked me how I was doing, if I was okay, if there's something wrong. And as much as it sounds pretty weird, it's nice to know somebody's concerned about somebody else. I think the things that kind of frustrate me is you walk down this sidewalk. It's 20 feet long. It's the street is so dull that they don't have no traffic's allowed to go on there. They've got 2 bars in the whole town. And they think they need street lights down it. They've got they're in the middle of town. In the middle of town, you don't have any regular light. Street lights down at the end there. There's a gas station. And in the gas station, there's no street light, which there should be. They decided instead, when they did the construction, they decided to put the street light over by the school. I know these little kids, they really need to be able to learn. I guess they don't need to learn how to walk across the street because they got a street light. I think it would be good for those kids to learn how to walk across the street instead of keep giving them something all the time. So that's just stupid. But in response to everything, I think it's just ridiculous. And and another thing I don't understand is why, I gotta say, I want to talk a little bit about wrestling, WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, whatever, World Wrestling Federation, whatever the hell you call it. Now, I watched wrestling for many years, and I admit, I'm a fan of it, I admit it. But sometimes I understand it's entertainment. These are all storylines, that's fine. But, some of the things that they're doing is absolutely ridiculous. They try making these people, do touts, 15-second little videos. Hi, my name is Dirk, and I think that you should do this and you should do that. I think what the WWE needs to start doing is stop acting so goddamn stupid. What is this, a soap opera? Now you got John Cena is having an affair with Kim Kardashian. Excuse me, I take that back. AJ. What's the difference? She looks like Kim Kardashian. She's got the little hairdo, and she's kind of messed up. But that's your big storyline. You've got them having some big affair. Then you've got some guy running around with a big old beard like Santa Claus going, no, 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 no. That's your big thing. You've got a guy who's 300 and some pounds, 6'8" tall, and you got him running around screaming like a little girl, I'm the tag team champion. I'm the tag team champion. Seriously, that's your big storyline? You got a guy who's 6'8", almost 7 foot tall, 300 and some pounds. You got him running around, acting like a total idiot. Come on, you guys could be a little bit smarter than that. Good God. Then you have a match. You know damn well how it's going to end. So what do? You turn around and have a referee hit a guy in the nuts. What is wrong with you people? You actually made people. No wonder people do what they do. Look at what you're doing. You're actually making people spend money to watch a referee knock a guy in the nuts, and you making people pay for that. And you wonder why people try finding ways of getting stuff for free, because the stuff that is not worth what you're trying to pay for. Just like people think about the football. You're crying about your $30 pay-per-view or $40 pay-per-view. What about football? Football is almost about $200 and some dollars a year, and they have about quarter of the games on TV, or other ways that you can find out about the game. So I don't see why you're charging people $50 a month to watch a wrestling event. where you got a guy hitting his people in the nuts. You know, maybe you should go back to your attitude here. Maybe you should have, rejuvenate the old people, the people that can wrestle. Now I found out that Jerry the King Lawler is coming back. How everybody's having a big cream in their jeans because Jerry the King Lawler is coming back to the WWE. So we get to deal with his crap for the next 20 years. Well, number one, Jerry the King Lawler is about 80 years old. He shouldn't be jumping in the ring anyways. For number one. Number two, I hate to say it, but to be honest with you, everybody sits here and supports him and thinks he's the most wonderful man in the world. Well, if you think a man is so wonderful because he goes and beats up on a celebrity most of his career, if you think that's such a wonderful person, I think you must messed up in the head. As Jerry the King Lawler, as a wrestler and a legend, yeah, I respect him in that instant. And the aspects of his personal, the way he treats people, I think he's a little prick. He goes out, he sits there. Think about this now, guys. Think about this. They show this anti-bullying campaign thing every single time they show it. And you got Michael Cole sitting in his little chair talking about it, and now Jerry Lawler just puts his little arm on the goddamn thing and just looks like, and just sits. He don't smile. He doesn't laugh. He doesn't say absolutely. I think it's horrible. You got to support this. He doesn't say a word. Pretty hard to swallow your pride and say something when you're the one that's the bully too. You're the one saying stuff about other people and you don't know a damn thing about it. You might, okay, fine. You don't like the guy? That's fine. There's a lot of characters, a lot of people I think are not worth a pot to piss in. Like Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania. Hulk Hogan's a little pervert, running around, having sex with 20-year-old girls, getting married to 20-year-old girls, having a big sex tape. Maybe if you kept your pecker in your pants, you wouldn't have that problem. And now you're trying to sue the company. You're trying to get that tape taken away. And you know what? And all that work you did, and you settled on it. Now all of a sudden that tape is still released, and all the thing you wanted was money. It's pretty bad you screw your goddamn best friend's wife, you sick pervert. You're married and you go out and screw some chick's wife? You are one sick bastard, and people actually look up to you? I think you're screwed in the head. I'd rather look up to Ric Flair than Hulk Hogan. At least Ric Flair has been wrestling for 20-some years. Yeah, he's maybe divorced, but at least he ain't going out and screwing a fucking 15-year-old girl. Jesus Christ, that's your big hero. Of course, and then you've got the Ultimate Warrior, oh my warriors. The guy must have been really fucked up. You don't have no idea what the guy's saying. He could be talking in Mexican, you won't know anything. There's a lot of the people that you can respect. I can go on and on about it, I will, but I just don't get it. I really don't get it. So in the aspects of Hulk Hogan, I think he's just a little pervert, and I think you guys need to realize that. And Jerry the King Lawler, I hate to say it, and people can cry and send messages say, you messed up. But anybody who bullies somebody and just, I don't really feel, I feel bad that he got sick. I don't want to see anybody get sick. I don't want to see anybody end up at the hospital. Of course not. But I don't like people who sit there and they act like all noble and act good and happy, but then they turn around and they say crap about somebody else. Now I don't know the whole situation about this whole bullying thing, but I noticed that I don't see him say much about bullying. They have this anti-bullying campaign, and I don't hear him say, oh yeah, this is this and this is that, because maybe he just ain't doing that. So just that's what I'm trying to say is, it's one thing that you sit there and you're a part of an anti-bullying campaign. It's one thing that you do what you do, and I just think it's horrible. I really do, and I'm not going to get too much into that anymore either because it's just stupid. But there's a lot of legends that are great. They're fun to watch. Since we're getting into more topics about wrestling and stuff, what is the deal with all? This is something that's a big dilemma. I want to point out to you. It just seems to me like sports nowadays, I don't know why, they must like 15, 20-year-old kids, doing stuff. It's like in the National Football League. You don't see no veterans in the NFL anymore. You don't. I mean, you've got people like, think about it, you have Dante Cole. They used to have, get the backup quarterback used to have Donovan McNabb. They don't even see him anymore. You don't see hardly any, it's all rookies. They get these kids, they have them a couple years, and they get rid of them. You don't see anybody who's actually played a few years. Just like wrestling. All the veterans are gone, and now you got a bunch of people, you don't even know who these people are. I'm serious. I mean, you got Alberto Del Rio, you've got Sin Cara, you got Rey Mysterio, you got two guys that you guys are so horrible that you bring them back. You got Mr. Albert coming back playing Tenzai. You got this little guy. What the hell is he? You got two guys that are worth what $100,000 a year. He's like cheap, and they're cheap is they're not worth that much money. And this Triple H shit, give me a break. Oh, I'm all hurt and I'm sore. I gotta quit. Yeah, you got to go back to your little lounge chair and you got to sit down in a corporate office and talk about what's your next plans for the next pay-per-view. What's going on? Why not? Let me see. What would I rather do? Get my ass thrown against the chain fence, or get my legs snapped like a twig because I ran and couldn't walk a certain way, or should I sit in a big corporate office with a pencil or a pen in my hand? Tough one. That's a real tough one. I don't know what I would want to do. And then you've got, like The Undertaker. Well, that's right. You won't have him for 3, 4, 5, 6 months because why? You only can bring him up for you got to get ready to talk to him because WrestleMania is coming. You got to tell him what the next his 6,000th match is going to be. It's going to be against Tenzai. It's going to be against some idiot. And it's ridiculous. You have absolutely nobody's wrestling in that organization. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't watch the wrestling, but I just think you need to do better with it. You want it to get better. You need to get back people. You got to get back a little excitement. Okay, use these people. Tell them they're going to step up. Have a hardcore match. Wrestle it outside. Wrestle outside in the snow. Wrestle in the backstage area. Stop wrestling in a ring. It's getting boring. I could go to high school and watch that shit. Now I could get much into that. I'm kind of stopping that because I'm in rambling, so. But that's what I think of the whole WWE thing, so. They need to get that taken care of. Truthfully, I want to say thank you to all my good viewers. Thank you for watching the show. I appreciate it. I did get the new update up. I appreciate it very much. Picks, as you know, has not been on yet. If you watch the program update episode, it explains everything, why I haven't been doing the programs, the shows of picks. It's not I just quit. I just kind of, sometimes I quit. I don't do it. Sometimes I do. It depends on the mood. If you are new, I'll explain a little bit about Breakfast with Jeff. Is just I'm kind of like as you can see, I'm in my robe. It's it's supposed to be kind of like a breakfast, a morning show. So that's what Breakfast with Jeff is. Jeff's Journal is a on-location show. We do all kinds of great stuff. We do something exciting. Holiday season's coming. We're going to be having, like I said, we've missed Halloween. Just a little program notes. Like I said, for Halloween, we were going to be doing a new episode of Jeff's Journal with Sir Bert Chamor, Count Grampula, and Delvira. Unfortunately, nobody didn't get no likes on it, so we did not do it this year. So we kind of skipped that, but we do have Thanksgiving, of course. We have something with Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that stuff. So when those do come up, Camel will kick on. I'm going to work on a new show called Candid. Now, what Candid is it's just basically an update show. So if you like that update stuff, we're going to kick on the camera. We don't know when the camera will come on. It will just pop on, and we'll be doing random stuff. And basically, it kind of gives you an idea to kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So basically, that's what it'll be. Cam will mostly be on me if whatever does anything because, um, well, first off, I don't want the thing smashed over the back of my head, you know, if I keep doing this. So, but Candid will be something new. I'll let you know a little about it if it does debut. Best way is just check your Facebook, check your MySpace, check your whatever accounts you have. Or maybe there's an account I don't love, you know, just simply let me know and send me a message on Facebook or something, and I'll be more than happy to oblige you there. But that's as far as that goes. So that's what Jeff's Journal is, all on location stuff like holidays and places we go and stuff like that. Breakfast with Jeff is a morning show. Picks is going to be, like I said, you watch it, it's going to be basically random stuff, just talking about whatever. Talking about football in general, and that's pretty much about it. Another show that has been rejuvenating back is Bitching Out. Bitching Out is not for kids. Not intended. If you don't like swearing and cursing and all that stuff, explicit stuff, then you might want to not want to be a part of that. You might want to, might want to just have adults watch that because it's not exactly language for kids. So but anytime you go on any of the sites, that does have the, you want to verify if you want to watch it or not. So just to let you know that. So that's what Bitching Out is also about. That's rejuvenated. That comes up as well. So might fiddle around, like I said, with my new setup. I also thanks to Sam, my producer. I also been doing getting some ready for some karaoke, like not karaoke, but music and stuff. I'll tell you a funny story since I'm doing this show. Back in the day, I had a band. I'm a it's called it's a redneck band because I'm the only person in the world that doesn't have a guitarist, don't have a drummer, don't have a bassist, don't have a sound person, but I have my own band. I'm a one-piece band where I have nothing. But I've always thought that a couple things I've always thought of when I was a band. For number one, I called the band Short Fuse. The thing would have, of course, a stick of dynamite would have a fuse about probably like 3 seconds long. And I was screwing around on a site and I put a video on there. And I didn't mean to do it. I was doing the song by Poison, Something to Believe in. I got like 139 views, and I only sang for like a minute. And I'm thinking, damn, I mean, if I get that many just by singing 1 minute, imagine what I'm going to do if I did it up. So I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be updating some of the stuff with the camera. I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do it with my system, so hopefully it'll sound really good. For warning, I don't know how the sound was sounds. If it sounds kind of funky or anything, I apologize. But I want to get some stuff up there and see how it works. And if you like it, like I said, just let me know in the comments. But it'll be something new I'll be doing in a few days or a day or so, or whatever. I don't know. It depends on the scheduling. So, so what you're going to do is check that out as well. So that'll be something new as well. But the whole Short Fuse thing was just kind of dumb. I consider, when I do music, I kind of consider, I pretend, I'm announcing, Short Fuse, and then you come out and you play a song. And in a way, it's kind of nice when you got a great system, because then you feel like you are playing the songs and you are doing the sets, and it's pretty cool. So, but that's one of the things I used to do and used to have fun doing. So, but that's something else that will also happen. So that's pretty cool. So, let's see what else they're going to talk about. But I think that's pretty much it. I am not going to talk anymore about that, because I've been going on, it's been going on 20 minutes now, so I'm just going to do my conclusion here, and then I'll kick off here. Just to put it in simple terms, my best advice for anybody is that, be yourself, be who you are. Don't let people step on you. Being angry is not a bad thing. You get angry because you don't like what people say. No, it's basically you don't like the way people treat you. When you go on, especially when it comes to businesses, when you expect people to be professional and then they act a certain way, that's not the way you do business. Businesses know exactly the product, they know how much the product is, they know what condition the product is, They don't sit there and say, well, I have no idea. Well, I did it this way and I did that way. Oh, I've been working for 20 years, 50 years, I should know. Well, it doesn't matter. Because no matter what, somebody else has told you otherwise. Maybe you should think about that first. And you know what? Maybe sometimes, being upset, being angry, and and just saying how you feel does actually help. It really does. It does actually help because, I went out and I've been nice and I've been good and I did the right thing, and I've had pretty much nothing to show for it. I go out and I say something, I say how I feel, and you know what? I get all kinds of respect. I get respect from people. They might not like it, but that's how it is. I have had companies go out and just give me stuff because they're frustrated. They're frustrated and angry. Well, guess what? The only time I've ever asked for anything is if somebody doesn't do the job correctly. I shouldn't have to. The way it works is very simple. You come into a business, you go out, you say, this is what I have, this is how much it is. If you like it, great. If not, whatever. That's the way you do it. You don't sit and say, well, it's this when you know it's something else, and you stand and buy it. That's like saying, gee, I'm going to sell you a gallon of milk. It's $5. You know damn well my milk is not $8 or $20. It's like $2.50, $3. Well, they swear up and down it's that much money, but they don't know. And it's money. And they get pissed off, and they stand by the thing. A good company knows exactly how much this stuff is and how much it would be. That's a good company. A company that sits here and jerks your chains says, oh, it's not true, it's this or that. It's just ridiculous. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I just think all I can say to people is be yourself. It's all right to be angry. Stick up for yourself. Don't let people tell you otherwise. You go to a business, remember, you're the customer, not them. Their job is to help you, to serve you. And if they're not doing the job correctly, maybe they should, and don't let them know that, you know what, best advice for you guys, tell them that, what do you want, what would you give me to stay? Because you know what, you're the customer. You could go to another company and they'll treat you with a lot more respect than that. But if they want you to stay, listen to what they have to say. If they're willing to offer you to give you something, and that's what I'd be honest with you folks, I've done that. I went out and I'd say I'd leave if you give me this, and they'll turn around and give it to me just because. So, but I'm not going to get too much into that. So I'm going to get kicking here, folks. I apologize. I've been going on and on here. I want to get off. We'll be doing another episode of Breakfast with Jeff, like I said, sometime tomorrow. Also want to let you know, folks, just keep track. I will make sure I put videos on, keep up to date with everything. It will be very fun. I will be doing a lot more videos more often here now, I think. Now that the system, of course, is getting much brighter, thanks to my producer giving more light in here for me. So that's pretty cool as well. So I'm going to let you go, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate it. We're going to be going. And like I said, just keep checking your stuff for any new videos. I'll post them as much as I can. This is called Breakfast with Jeff Random, which would be called Random 7. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.